Hi. So I just wanted to make this video because when I was pregnant with my daughter and I was going through um, having to need a cerclage, um, I looked at YouTube and I didn't really find a lot of videos. I mean, there were some here and there, but it was very rare. Like, I didn't really find much. And so that's why I'm making this video, and hopefully if you're going through this situation, you can know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I know it's scary and everything, but you will get through it, okay? You will. I promise you will get through it. So, um, the reason why I needed a cerclage and the reason how I got the cerclage, my very first pregnancy, we wound up losing our daughter at 16 weeks. They said it was it could have been an infection. I had an abruption, a placental abruption. My water started leaking. It broke. My water bag broke, and basically that was pretty much it. Went into labor, had my daughter at 16 weeks, almost 17 weeks gestation. So when I got pregnant with my second daughter, all we did was we went over the history. Before I got pregnant with her, I actually had a miscarriage. They did not find the baby in my uterus, so they stated that it was an impossible ectopic pregnancy. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. And that experience really changed my life. But then I got pregnant with my daughter, my second daughter, and we just decided, because of my previous losses, to just monitor. So at 16 weeks, I started doing cervical checks every 2 weeks, and then at 16 weeks also, no, I apologize. At 16 weeks, I started my McKenna progesterone shots, and then at 18 weeks, I started my cervical checks. So 18 weeks, we started my cervical checks, and from 18 weeks to 21 weeks, I went from about 3.5-ish in length, cervical length, to 1.5. So we were at the appointment, and basically I got told, you need to go to the hospital and check in because you need to get an emergency cerclage. And I was like, a cerclage? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna lose my baby. So I literally got checked in at the hospital right away. So they told me it was gonna be immediate surgery. I didn't have surgery until maybe 1 o'clock the next day. So I was starving. I was scared. I hadn't slept. I was nervous. So I was told that I was going to be put under anesthesia. I've never had any surgery. Never had any anesthesia. I was just like it was just a whirlwind of emotions, and I didn't know what to do. And I was scared because I was going to lose my daughter. There was a chance that even when they were giving me the cerclage, they said that they could have ruptured the sac. So I was just terrified, absolutely terrified. And so I go in for the surgery, and the anesthesiologist kept going the wrong way, and it was just a lot of pain just to get the spinal tap, spinal injection. And so later, I didn't realize what was going to happen later on. But anyway, I got numbed. I was numb. And then they did the surgery. It took about a half an hour. And they did a McDonald cerclage. And the recovery from that was horrendous. It was the worst experience of my life. I had what they call a spinal headache, and I could not walk to the bathroom without feeling like so much pressure in my head, and a migraine, an instant migraine, and it was just the worst experience. It went away after about a week or so. Lo and behold, my daughter came at 39 weeks and 2 days. I did my progesterone shots all the way up until 37 weeks. No, 36 weeks, and then they took the cerclage out at 37 weeks. Taking it out hurt a little bit. They had a really hard time taking it out because they said the surgeon did a really good job. I did not have any leaking with it in, no tearing. I did feel when I got further along in my pregnancy, a little bit of pressure, but she was, my sac was already funneling, so that basically means that it was already, like, if you think of a funnel, it's kind of like this. This is my cervix. She was already there when they were pretty much doing the cerclage, so there wasn't a lot of wiggle room with her. But I did have her at 39 weeks and 2 days, full term. She was absolutely healthy. She is 2.5 now, and when she was about a year old, I found out that I was pregnant again with my third daughter. And this time they gave me the option of doing the cerclage as a preventative or just kind of monitoring it. And I just didn't want to go through having to do an emergency cerclage again. I just said, let's just do it. This time around was such a better experience. So, like, the pregnancy, the cerclage, the surgery, everything was absolutely wonderful. I got it done at 14 weeks. The anesthesia was fine. I did not have a spinal headache this time. The only thing was that I was numb so good that it took about 4 hours to feel my legs and to actually move and use the bathroom. Other than that, honestly, it's the best. It was the best experience. We took it out at 37 weeks. It was 1, 2, 3 out in the office. And I had my daughter at exactly 40 weeks on her due date. Perfectly healthy. She is now 6 months old. And I honestly, one experience was horrible. The next was absolutely wonderful. So I think the first time when I got it done, there was so much anxiety and so much stress surrounding me getting it done that it made the experience even that more scary and worse. This time, the second time around, I knew what to experience. I knew what was coming, so I guess it was just easier for me in that sense. So if this is your first time, just let me reassure you, just take a breath and just relax. I know the fear that comes with this. And I know it's scary and I know it's hard, but you have to be strong because you're carrying something that's so precious, and you have to allow the doctors to do what they're supposed to do and to help you out. I know it doesn't always work out that way, but we have to have faith in everything. So my experiences, as you can see, were two very different, but both of my daughters are here, and I, went through a lot with my first daughter. Well, not my first daughter, but my second daughter that I got the emergency cerclage with, and it was different, but she's here, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that we did do the cervical checks. So if you have a similar experience where you had a second-term pregnancy loss, please speak to your doctor at least to see if maybe you need some monitoring in terms of your cervical checks, because you can have an incompetent cervix and not know it, which is something that happened with me. So I just wanted to share my experience. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. I'm always open to answering any questions that you may have. Maybe I'll make a second video if I get enough questions. But yes, I hope that this has helped anybody, even if it's just one person. That's all my goal. That's my goal. That's what I'm hopeful for. So again, if you have any questions, just let me know. All